Just look at this model. 4 billion parameter in size. It is multimodal, comes with a thinking mode, and even offers something new in terms of reasoning. Has beaten lot of other open source open weight models on a lot of benchmarks. As you can see in this diagram, this R-4B seems quite interesting, but not, let's not take it on its face value. Let's get it installed locally and then we are going to check it out. This is Fahad Mirza and I welcome you to the channel. Please like the video and subscribe, and please consider becoming a member of the channel as that helps a lot. So before I even start the installation, let's have a very quick look at this model. As I said, it's an open source multimodal model which is designed for efficient and intelligent reasoning across diverse tasks. It features an innovative auto thinking capability that dynamically switches between step by step deliberation and direct response generation based on task complexity. So it seems they have built some sort of internal router there which looks at your prompt and then decides accordingly. It is trained through a two-stage process, but I will be talking about the training and some other innovations later in the video. For now, let's get it installed. I am using this Ubuntu system. I have one GPU card, NVIDIA RTX A6000 with 48 GB of VRAM. If you're looking to rent a GPU on very affordable price, you can find the link to Massed Compute in video's description with a discount coupon code of 50% for range of GPUs, so please do check them out. Now, in order to get this installed, the tool which I'm going to use is VLLM. VLLM is one of the fastest inference engine. If you have never heard of it and if you don't know how to install it, I have done a very easy to follow video. Just go to my channel, search with VLLM, and you should be able to get it installed in no time. For GUI, I'm thinking of using OpenWebUI. That video is also available on the channel if you are interested. So I already have this VLLM installed. All I'm doing, I'm simply just moving it to my GPU after getting it installed, and then it is going to serve it locally on port 8000. And the model is being downloaded. While it downloads, let me first introduce you to the sponsors of the video, and then we will have a very quick look at the architecture. So Agent is the world's first multi-agent workforce desktop application, empowering you to build, manage, and deploy a custom AI workforce. So what exactly is the architecture of this model in very simple words, and what is the innovation? That is what I really want to tell you. So look, one thing which I am very impressed by them, and I think I have hardly seen anyone doing it, that they have used something called as BPO or by mode policy optimization. So during their two-stage training process, what they did, they used by mode annealing to develop dual thinking and non-thinking skills to learn adaptive mode selection, and that is where this BPO comes into play, and I think that is quite innovative. It minimizes computational costs without sacrificing accuracy. Also, you can have a boost in the performance, plus your inference just goes up. The model supports three operational modes: automatic adaptive thinking, manual control for user direct reasoning, and direct responses. And that offers flexibility and precision for various applications. And if you look at this benchmark, you can see that with top ranking on the Open Compass multimodal reasoning and academic leaderboard, this it looks, quite a good option in the open source, and the license is simply Apache 2, as you can see here. So pretty good. Model is still being downloaded. Let's wait. And the model is now being served. Let's also open and start our OpenWebUI for GUI, and then we will access the model in the browser environment. And now let's test it out, its reasoning capabilities packed with multimodality in one go. So what I'm going to go here, I'm first going to give it this prompt. I'm asking it that imagine you're an AI urban planner tasked with designing a sustainable solar powered city for 50,000 residents in a desert region. It could be Arizona or Saudi Arabia or any place else. And then there are following inputs. So as an input, not only text, but also I'm going to give it this satellite image of the desert and also this pie chart. And I have explained what these images mean. So image one, a satellite map showing a rectangular 10 square kilometer plot of flat desert land with some other stuff. And then image two, a pie chart of projected energy demand. And I have just given it some fictitious data, of course. And then this is a text input that design a holistic city plan integration and all that stuff. Also, I'm asking it autonomously decide whether this requires deep reasoning or can be answered directly. If thinking is needed, show your internal reasoning step by step. Provide a final structured output, and then so on and so forth. Let's run this to see. Wow, look at the speed. I will let it print. Let's check the VRAM consumption. So it is consuming over 40 gig of VRAM. So just a 4 billion parameter model, but I think it is doing thinking. The more thinking it is going to do, it is just test time inference. So let's see how it goes. So I will let it print. And the model has come back with the response. Before we go through the response, let's take a step back and think about what exactly we are testing. We are testing if the model is able to combine spatial, quantitative, and textual constraints because we gave it a pie chart and we gave it a map. We are also checking if model is able to do adaptive thinking because we are forcing it to self-determine complexity and also to engage auto thinking mode if necessary. And then it needs to do some real world reasoning because we are talking about solar yield, we are talking about energy storage, urban design, environmental size, and then there is some quantitative and qualitative balance. Plus we are also testing performance, but we are checking most importantly if it is able to do uh, the thinking autonomously. So now let's see. You see it has understanding the problem, it is breaking down the requirements, and then you can see that its adaptive thinking is quite deep. Step by step analysis is there. It is tackling this complex urban planning challenge in a very fine way. It has come up with some of the numbers, and it has correctly interpreted the multimodal inputs, which is the satellite layout, energy distribution, and environmental constraints. And you can see that it is also showing some structured problem solving by breaking down the task into logical components. For example, energy demand estimation, solar infrastructure calculation, climate adaptation, and urban design. So I think model is quite proficient in quantitative reasoning. It is performing detailed energy calculations very realistically, and assumptions are quite good because it is going with per capita consumption, solar irradiance, panel efficiency, and also peak load. Plus it is also deriving a feasible solar array size around 50,000 square meter, which is really interesting. It is also integrating environmental factors like wind direction, topography into the city layout, and then some. You see it is talking about dust storms and extreme heat, so it understands the whole problem. And then if you look here, it is also checking about sustainability trade-offs and also proposing a hierarchical energy storage system with smart grid integration. Very interesting. So I believe that the response is not only well organized, comprehensive, and quite technically sound, but it was able to maintain contextual coherence and has delivered quite a good real world solution. So very impressive model, very interesting model. Now this model is primarily geared towards these sort of real world problems. If you're looking for coding, for math, for story writing, I don't think so these sort of models are good for that. But let me quickly check the multilinguality. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it this sentence that clinging to the past is like holding on to smoke. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. And then I'm giving it a lot of languages there. I have also included couple of dialects of Kurdish as one subscriber requested. So why not? And then I am asking it to also translate it into these runes, which is not our actual language, but let's see. And then some fictional language, and then also asking it to provide a brief cultural note for three languages of your choice. Let's see how it goes. You see, direct response, no thinking at all, because it didn't require any thinking. Now, I'm also thinking that for the last bit of my prompt, would it switch to auto thinking within the same session, or do it, would it need to spin up another session? So we will see. I will let it print all the languages. Now, there are so many languages, of course, I cannot check all of them. So please check your native language. Let me know in the comment if you think the translation is correct or not. So all direct response, and I will just go up and show you. So the few which I know and Google Translate tells me that some of the languages are quite good. Sorry, I'm just going here to English, other languages. Yeah, some of the languages look good, but I think I'm not sure. Some mistakes are there, but I will take your advice in this one. So you see, even the Urdu script is totally wrong. This is not Urdu, it is Hindi. Yep, doesn't look good. Most of the languages I think it has missed, but some of the languages are quite good too. So I'm just scrolling down, and I have tried to cover all of the languages. If there is any language you would like me to include, just put it in the comments. Happy to include it in another video. And you see, so these are the Kurdish ones. I'm not sure. Please tell me what do you think, if your language is good or not. And then these are the cultural notes. Yep, you see, it has gone with smoke in Japanese culture. This is a German connotation of smoke in metaphors. And then this is the Persian. All very interesting. Well done. Okay, but as is the case, let's try out one coding task. And I'm going to go with my usual prompt for coding to create a self-contained HTML file which shows an animated rocket zooming across the screen in random directions, and then there are a lot of other conditions which I'm giving it. Okay, let's see if it is able to produce it, and then we will check it out. Sometimes I have seen that this right hand side open web UI preview doesn't work, but we will see. If it doesn't, we will open it in the browser. And there you go, it has given me the response, but doesn't really look good. And even if I open it in the browser, nothing happens. So I won't think it has done well here. Let's try out another coding one. I'm just going to ask you to design me a scalable API endpoint using Python and Flask. Let's see how it goes. I think it needs to think more about these sort of thing. The code looks okay to me, but yep, this time it looks okay. But I'm more than sure you would have to get it checked with another LLM, I guess. It is working with some decorators and stuff. Yep, this time I think it has done well. It is also telling us what are the installation and how to use it. This is pretty decent, I would say. That's it. Let me know what do you think about this model. Please like the video and subscribe, and consider becoming a member, as that helps a lot. Thank you for all the support.